Listen, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. You know, and I was a firm believer that, you know, when she seen her, she was like, that baby too light-skinned.
Joining us now, everyone, is Erika. Now, Erika's here to find out if a man named Andrew is her biological father. You see, Erika says for as long as she can remember, Andrew has denied her and made her feel like an outcast. Now, it was Erika's mother, Tish, who raised Erika and requested today's paternity test. Now, get this. Tish and Andrew, after all these years, are now a couple again. And Erika is outraged that her mom would date the man who abandoned them for the past 22 years. This is Erika's story.
For 22 years, all I ever wanted was to be loved and accepted by my father. My whole life, my mother told me Andrew was my father, and yet he still denies me. He's never been there for me. When I was young, his family told me to my face that I was too light-skinned to be his daughter. That's so stupid. Being rejected by his family because the color of my skin made me feel like I was never good enough. I blame Andrew for not being in my life. I was grown at 14 years old because I didn't have a stable father. I could have avoided so many problems if he would have just stuck around. And I can't believe my mother is dating him after everything he put me through. And she saw me crying over him when I was younger, and yet you still chose to lay with him. What kind of woman is that? When this test proves that I am Andrew's daughter, I need an apology from him and his family.
Okay, so coming to us from Buffalo, New York is Erika. Now you're 22, Erika. How do you feel about the fact that you got to take a DNA test?
I really hate the fact that I have to take a DNA test because I'm 22 years old. Out of all these years, why am I here now? Y'all could have been did this when I was younger.
Apparently, Erika, Andrew's family has always had doubts about whether Andrew was your father, right?
Ever since I was a kid, like I used to hear them talking about me and say that I was too light-skinned to be his daughter. And I'm like, y'all don't even know me to even say that. My mother is light-skinned. You can't say that about me.
Do you want to prove Andrew's your father or not?
I want to prove that he is my father. I do want to prove it, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't even really care because at the end of the day, he was never a father. I'm 22 years old, and I feel like you should have been stepped up. And if you felt like you were my dad or wasn't my dad, you should have spoke to me like that. You talked to me about everything else. Why not that?
Tish, why'd you wait 22 years to get in touch with the show, huh? And find out with some DNA?
Maury, first let me tell you I love you. I have been trying to get on this show for many years. Andrew was in and out.
No, you haven't.
I have been talking before my oldest daughter passed away. I had been telling her I want to go on Maury because I was tired of hearing Andrew say she could be mine, she might not be mine. I was tired.
But why haven't you stopped talking to him? What did you even talk to him for, knowing that he's second guessing me? What type of person is that?
Erika, because I know for a fact that he's your father.
But that don't have anything with you. You're laying down with a man who's not even honest with himself. He's not even honest with you. If you feel like that, he's not honest with me. Like you don't even know if you're my dad, but you're laying with my mother.
Tish, I think your daughter has the right to be a little upset that after all these years, you're back with the guy who has doubts about whether he's the father of your daughter. Why are
you? She is grown, Maury. She is grown, and he can never deny.
I'm grown, but so what? It's the principle. He was never there as a man. So how can he be there for?
I have to live.
How can he be there for you as a man? How can he be there for you as a man? He couldn't even be there for his own kids. He couldn't even be there. Yes, and I know that I'm being a parent that y'all weren't. That's why I had my kids to be the parent that y'all weren't.
Okay.
But I have to live my life.
Here's the thing. Way back, around the time you got pregnant, Tish, you met Andrew while you were getting out of another relationship, so there could have been...
Yes, that it did happen. But Maury, the guy was long gone when I started having my first sexual encounter with Andrew. I had never gotten pregnant before by the guy that I was seeing. All of a sudden, I sleep with Andrew, and now I pop up pregnant. Come on now.
I mean, Andrew keeps saying, she's too light-skinned, she's too light-skinned. I mean, what do you say about that?
Look at her mother. I am light-skinned. She gets her color clearly from me, but her face is all him.
You think they look alike?
Yes, she has everything like
yeah, but they worried about, they always say something about my skin, but you're still with him.
So, Andrew, all right, back in the day, like 22 years ago or so, how would you describe your relationship with Tish?
Well, Maury, listen, man. First, I'm going to say, man, it's a pleasure to see you there.
Well, Good to see you.
Man, you know, I've been trying to get on this show for a minute, man.
Because you've been denying my daughter all these years. You've been lying.
First of all, I never
You still
denied
laying
her.
with him.
I never denied her. I said
Yes,
it's
you
a
did.
possibility.
You told her
she
that.
might not be mine.
That's denying
That's
me.
denying her.
denying
That's
me. What
not.
do you
That's
think
just
that is?
saying.
That's
If you
denying.
know at
That's
that
called-
time,
that's
I
called
was not the only person you were sleeping with.
Okay, it's not denial, it's doubt, right? It's doubt.
It's doubt. I mean, I was the only person you were sleeping
But
with.
you never told me
You
that. Why
was
you
the
tell
only
everybody else
person.
but me?
You was
But
the only
you know
person
what?
I was
Listen,
sleeping with.
the reason I never told you, Erica. Listen, the reason I never told you, Erica, because at that time I was in and out of your life. You know, when I
But
first
you
met
still
you,
tell me
you were
everything
4
else.
years old.
Why that's
You
a
were
big
4 years
thing.
old
That's
already.
a big thing. It's a big thing, but you tell me everything else, but you can't tell me that you doubt me as your kid. That
Listen, at that time, Erica,
I needed you. Where
the
was
time I was
you?
able
Like,
to
I
talk
don't
to
get
you,
it.
Erica, you was already at a certain age. Your mother, she been there. I wasn't there. I didn't feel like it was the right time.
I was grown. That's what you're
You know what I
saying,
mean?
right? And I was like 10. I was like 14
Man.
when you really
But-
talked to me. I was grown, right?
Eric is upset, and I think rightfully so.
But she have every right to be, Maury.
Okay, good. I'm glad you
She have every right
feel
to be.
that way.
Listen, because at the time, like you said, me and her used to be able to talk. You know, but now, me and her mother, you know what I mean? We should have been untold the things that we didn't tell her.
Okay.
I
But
didn't
you
know her.
is the one denying her.
I'm not really denying. I told you. Listen, first
Well,
of
you're the
all,
one who
my
got
family,
doubts. You're having doubts.
listen. She had more siblings than that. You know what I mean? I got daughters that don't think that that's his sister.
Denying
I feel
What
some
does
kind of
have to
way
do with
about
how you
that.
feel? They shouldn't
So-
make you feel any type of way. So what? They shouldn't make you feel
Man,
like I'm not your
Andrew.
kid.
Y'all making me feel like I did something, and y'all know it ain't all about me.
Answer me this, Andrew. Are you upset that your family never accepted Erica?
No.
At one
No.
point, Maury, hey, listen, at one point, Maury, listen, I had brought over, man, when she was like
Never
about
upset.
4, you heard? And my mom's, you know, back in the days, Maury, you know how old parents are. Listen, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. You know, and I was a firm believer of that. You know, when she seen her, she was like, that baby too light skinned and too pretty.
And I was
But I ain't gonna
that
say I don't
young
make
and
pretty
I thought
babies.
I was
All my
older than
kids
that.
are
That's
pretty,
ridiculous.
though.
I didn't
All my
sleep with
kids
your
are
mother. I
pretty,
slept with you.
Andrew, when Erica was 18 years old, she wrote a song. It was called Letter to My Dad, and she said she was thinking of you when she wrote it, and I want you to listen what Erica has to say in this song.
When I was 18, I wrote this song about my dad because I was really lost. I've been hurting. This lifestyle I've been trying to live, it just ain't working. I tried to play it off like I didn't feel deserted. Like, why did you leave? Why couldn't you take care of me? What did I do for you to treat me like that? For you to let my sister dad sign my birth certificate? It's been 18 years and I still cry. I've been all alone since I was 5. And I've been learning about the world on my own time because daddy wasn't there and daddy didn't care. But through it all, I still wanted you to be here. This is crazy how I think about you daily. How could you leave your little baby? This is shady. Dad, this song is for you. So you know what your little girl's been through.
What do you think of that? That's tough, isn't it, Andrew?
Wow. Maury,
Don't act like you care.
Let
hey,
Andrew,
Maury,
let
Maury,
Andrew
listen,
answer.
Maury, I'm gonna be honest with you, Maury.
Yes.
When she was 4, I knew she had talent. But to hear the words that she just spoke, Maury, I have nothing really to say, man.
Okay.
I just feel like
Well, it
I wish
touched
I'd had more time in her life.
That touched you, though.
You
didn't it?
had I needed
blew
you.
me
You
away,
weren't
boy.
even there for me no matter what. Like
That's
I
the first
used to
time.
really cried for you.
She said she
and
wrote that
everything.
song. How old was she when she wrote it, Maury?
18.
Here
I
we
was
go.
18 years old. I used to be looking for you. You used to tell me you used to come in, and you was coming and never showed up. You said never show. Like you know
know
how
what?
it
It
was.
was a lot.
Growing up
It was-
without a father.
it was so many
all your
times I
siblings
wanted
have
to.
a father.
It was
Like,
so
many
all
times
your
I
siblings
wanted to.
have
All righty.
kids.
All right.
No matter what the result is, Maury. But if it turned out to her not being my daughter, Maury, I don't know where it's gonna go. But it ain't gonna be good. Yeah.
In the case of 22-year-old Erica, Andrew, you are the father.
I knew it. I told you.
I told
you. Why would I lie?
Apology.
Why would
Wow.
Apologies, please.
I told
Say you're
you.
sorry.
22
Say
years.
you're
I
sorry.
told you.
Say you're sorry. I need all the apologies.
Erica,
Give it to
I
me.
told
Give
All
it
right,
to
wait a
me.
second.
Tell me you're
Tish,
sorry.
Tish,
Wow.
Tish,
I'm
Tish.
waiting.
Hey, Tish,
Wait.
Maury,
Tish,
Yes.
hold on. Erica wants an apology.
listen, Erica, I'm sorry, dear. I don't
I
care what
told
nobody
you.
say. I love you. Hell with everybody else's
I
feelings.
told you.
I don't give a damn.
I told you.
I'm sorry,
Do
Tish.
it.
I'm sorry, Tish. I'm sorry.
You are not the father.